Welcome back to the Art Training School. I hope you are enjoying the series I'm making for you. Alright, today I'm going to continue with a series on discipleship. So let me quickly recap what I spoke about in the last video so that for those of you who are listening for the very first time, you could really understand what a disciple is. So I made mention that the word Christian was first used for the disciples. So the Bible says in the book of Acts that the disciples were first called Christians in Antioch. What does it mean? It means that during those days, if somebody was not a disciple, he was not called a Christian. Does it make sense? Alright, so it means that to be a Christian, the qualification is to be a disciple of Jesus. So what do we see about the disciples? The Bible says they spent time with Jesus. For 3 years, they were with Jesus continually. Everywhere that Jesus went to, they were just following. They ate with Jesus. Everything they did together with Jesus. And by virtue of being with Jesus, the Bible says they were able to do what Jesus did. And this was the qualification for being a Christian. So the people who were not Christian, the unbelievers, saw these guys. Wow, they look like Jesus. And that is how they call them Christians. Little Christ in nature. Alright, so today the word Christian has been abused. And then people call themselves Christians. When in reality they don't look like Jesus in any way. And I also made mention that if you don't want to use the word Christian, another word that you can use is an apprentice. Somebody who learns a trade, a skill, an ability from somebody. All right. So we can say that the disciples were apprenticed to Jesus. So after being with Jesus for 3 years, the Bible says they were able to do the same thing. Alright, so today I'm going to continue, or I'm going to build on this foundation that I laid. Alright, so to be a Christian, it means to be a disciple of Jesus. And to be a disciple of Jesus, it means that we are spending time with Jesus, like the disciples did. We are listening to Jesus on a daily basis and doing what Jesus tells us to do. And if we do this, then we can call ourselves Christians because we are disciples of Jesus. Now, in apprenticeship, or if somebody is learning a trade from someone else, he is not able to do what his master does immediately, or is not able to do what his master teaches immediately. By virtue of practice, daily practice, and doing what the master says, with time he is able to do what his master tells him. Alright, so I know many people ask me questions. How can I heal the sick? How can I preach the gospel? How can I do this? How can I do that? The simple answer is that being a disciple, you have to spend time. You have to spend time with Jesus. Alright, look at the disciples before and then after. The Bible says they were fighting initially. Who has to sit on Jesus' right hand? And in the Bible, they couldn't cast out demons. And the Bible says they were afraid, they were scared. But with time, after the Spirit came upon them, they were able to do mighty things, right? Okay, so what does it teach us? It teaches us that if we are going to spend time with Jesus, then likely by virtue of practicing what Jesus tells us, we shall be able to do what Jesus do. So the Bible says a teacher is not above his master, right? So if somebody is well trained, he will be like his master. So if we stay with Jesus, we listen to Jesus, we walk like Jesus, then likely we can be like Jesus. Because Jesus himself said, the things that I do, you will do also. That's amazing, right? Okay, and greater than this are you going to do? Okay, so sometimes it's kind of a little scary or spooky to many people. But the truth of the matter is that, assuming I want to learn how to be a carpenter, and then I go to see a master, and then I sign up. And then after signing up, I get committed to learning the carpentry trade. And suddenly my master comes to me and he says, okay, you came today, right? I say, yes, master. Okay, you get a nail, get a wood, make one chair today. I will begin to wonder, master, how can I make a chair today? I just came today. I don't know anything about making chair. I'll be shocked and surprised, and I will begin to think I cannot do this. But as my master does it, and I look at how he is doing it, and then I practice how to do it, with time I'm able to do what my master did, or what my master does. So let me emphasize that the key to being a disciple is spending time with Jesus and doing what Jesus asks you to do. If you don't do that, there is no way you can be a disciple. In other words, you can be a Christian. So, beloved, if we want to be truly disciples or Christians, now the secret I'm sharing with you today is to spend time with Jesus and practice what Jesus tells. And then if we do that on daily basis, then surely and surely we shall be able to become great disciples of Jesus. And let me also emphasize that we need to understand that doing great things doesn't happen overnight. There are times I pray for people, they get healed instantly. There are times I preach to people and then they believe the gospel instantly. There are times they don't. Even there are times they don't get healed. Partly because I don't understand their problem, partly because I don't understand what they are going through. And then here in Thailand, I can't even understand their language. So sometimes when they are telling me their problem, I don't really understand what they are talking about. All right, and diagnosis, your ability to diagnose a problem is part of the healing process. Yeah, so if you are praying for the shoulder when the pain is in the leg, then the person is not going to get healed. Yeah, because your prayer needs to be specific towards where the person has got a problem. So we make mistakes all along, but we learn in the process. So there are so many mistakes you need to make in order to be a hero. If you are not ready to go through those mistakes as a disciple, then surely you are not going to be a great disciple. All right, so in conclusion, let me say that practice, 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 and you'll be a great disciple. Thank you. Watch and keep watching at Training School. Okay, God bless you. See you again in the next video.